Hey guys, so today you and I are going to talk about debugging. So let's get into it. So the question in question was, hi Frederick, have you ever debugged something for several hours or days only to realize at the end that the solution was right in front of you the whole time? Last Friday. That was the last time. And it's like what, Saturday today, Sunday, something like that. Yeah. So yeah, I would say so. I would say that I've done this so many times now that well, I'm probably on some top list somewhere because this happens to me all the time. And usually when it happens is when I have to deal with the thing I least like in all of software, and that is to figure out what the right configuration is for somebody else's stuff. I hate it. I hate it with a passion. There is nothing as frustrating as trying to the worst case for me is if you have like some third-party library or a CI pipeline or something, or it doesn't matter, any abstraction that has this holistic solution for you that is not literally I wrote the code myself and I have all the because as long as it's in the programming language it's all good. For some reason I just managed to figure stuff out when I can code the problem myself or something like that. As soon as you put me in a situation where I have to read a bunch of documentation from somebody else's thing, and especially when my favorite one is, or the it's always a hassle. I don't know why Microsoft and like Google and all these different companies hate people who want to use their APIs and their API clients for various client languages and things like that. But I always have to spend so much time just try to figure. I just basically sit in Google until I can find some guy somewhere who made an example how to connect to one of the APIs I need for a pipeline or something like that to fetch some data or do something and so forth and so forth. It's the same deal when I deal with some documentation for some systems that we work with where like I know that if I use this tool right here, they have really great documentation. Everything is super easy and it's super straightforward to set up, and they have really understood how to configure, like how to make their interfaces intuitive for me as a mortal who needs to consume it. And then my teams go, no, we don't want to use them. We want to use this library over here. And I go, no, I don't. I really don't. And they go, no, it's really important. Okay. And then I go there and I see that, okay, yeah, they have a bunch of non-existing documentation with a bunch of different things, and the way that they have decided to document everything is with a bunch of arbitrary examples that have been updated for so long that it's not even funny anymore. And then you go to Stack Overflow and you try to Google for you try to go through that for a little while, and then you figure out that, hey, yeah, there's someone who sort of had the thing that you were doing right here, and you try to basically copy paste that thing and then it doesn't work anyway, and you have no idea why, because everything seems to be an arcane mystery type of thing. And then you just realize that, oh, okay, let's try to change the path for this config, and then it magically works. That's all you needed. There was a slash there because for some reason, and I will never ever get this right on the first try. A concrete example is I challenge you to get a jest test glob right on your first try, like the pattern matching, to get that to target exactly the path that you want. I challenge you to do that. I will never do it on the first try. Never. Ever. Just as I will never ever be able to configure a web XML file for, say, a Java project on my first try, or to configure like a CI pipeline in Azure with exactly the right directory for the dist folder, like the output folder, and then fetch that on the first try or something similar to that. It always ends the same way. For some reason the files are not there, and so what do? I put a bunch of log statements or like ls commands, I run the pipeline, and then I see what's on the file system, because I'm still not clever enough to figure out, could I go into the agent maybe and see what the state was? That would have been really nice. Maybe I should go and check that after this video actually, if that's possible, because I've done this so many times that I don't know. And it always turns out the same way. It just turns out that either I was on the wrong version of something, or I'm too stupid to figure out how to configure, like to add the right path or like the specific value or something like that. Something obvious that is in the document, mountain of documentation that I didn't read fully because I'm lazy. Just so lazy. And if I don't know how something works, I don't want to learn it because I'm old and bitter now and I know everything. So therefore something that I don't know is obviously some type of witchcraft that isn't worth learning anyway. And so I just try to live off the stuff that I know now and hope that that's going to save me so I don't have to learn that other thing, because that involves a bunch of reading, and who wants to do reading when you work as a software developer? So what I want you to take away from this is that yes, I have definitely spent time on something that was obvious from the first get-go. And it can be as obvious like if I looked at this line that showed me that code example of how to do a thing, and then I added that configuration to whatever tool I'm using, and then it didn't just work. And then I just go, okay, here's an error. I started debugging the error and start looking around. Okay, what could that be? And start googling and stuff like that. And then if I'm really lucky, a Stack Overflow person will say, hey idiot, it says here in the documentation how to do it. And then I click their link and it's leading me to one scroll down from where I took the code from the example. That has happened more times than I care to admit. And please don't tell my employer, because if they knew how often it happens, I'm not so sure that they would trust me as much as they do these days. Have a great day.